You don't need all the tools for you to go into any aspect of tech that you want to go into, any web design or web development, be it graphic design or video editing, be it uh, copywriting or any other tech that you want to go into, e content creation. So what you just need is to identify the problem you are to solve. First of all, you identify the problem that you are to solve. Be specific on the problem that you are trying to solve by that's your skill. It's that's your skill. Then you'll be able to know the tools to use. So if you go focusing on the tools before identifying the aspect of problem you want to solve through your tech skills, that will overwhelm you from the beginning and you may not even start up at the end because you should be busy looking at the tools. But you start with what you have, with what you are familiar with what is easy for you to use at the point in time that you are having it in mind to start that skill or start that editing or start that content creation. So when you have identified the problem you want to solve, then you can be able to know the tools, the equipment that is readily available for you to use. That is the first thing to do. So when you've identified your the issue, this problem you want to solve, you have identified the solution that you want to bring. Now you can now niche down to what tools can I use now to solve this problem. So when you are able to identify the problem, that is when you can now start looking for the tools to use. And when looking for the tools to use, you should look for tools or equipment that you have ready at hand that you can use with ease. So ease of use should be considered while you are trying to start up that your tech skill. We are trying to venture into your tech skill. So what do you have at hand? What tools can you be able to reach at the moment presently? Why this is necessary is so that you won't delay in starting, so you won't be overwhelmed in starting, so you not be discouraged that you don't have a certain tools that experts use and you will not be able to start. So even if you don't have the fine system, the fast system, the best of the mic, the best of the lighting, the best of the setup, you can start with what you have at the present moment. Next is to what? To match your tools with your current skill level. Now, why you have choose the tools that you want to use for your tech skill, for your soft skills, what you should do next is that those tools that you have chosen to use, do they really match your tech skills at the current level which for you not to overwhelm yourself with the tools or for you not to feel lost with the tools which you have picked to use, you should pick tools that you are familiar with. Let your tools be what matches your current level of skill while you're choosing the tools that matches your current skill level. Before you commit into using that tools for greater work, test those tools. Test before you commit. Most of the tools that you will choose have free trials. So be sure to use those free trials so that you'll be able to navigate through the tools, through the website, through the app, or through the software before you really commit into using them. So when you have discovered the tools to use, the software to use, the equipment to use, make sure that those equipment you try them before you commit yourself into using it for your tech skill. So be sure to test all those tools. The next thing to consider is don't compare everything. So when you start, you've chosen the tools and you've tested those tools that you want to use. You've tried the platform, you've tried the lightings, the mic, or you've checked the reviews of all those items that you want to use for your tech skill, for your soft job. Now, what you should do is to compare what matters. So what really matters in those tools, what should be looking out for is easy to use tools that you've tested, that you've read the reviews and you've tested them, you've done the field trials and The next step is to compare what matters. Now, what really matters in those tools, in those softwares, is what is it easy for you to use? Is that tools really easy for you to use? Ease of use. You should compare the ease of use of those tools you choose. Maybe you've tried two or three softwares. You've tried two or three platforms to for your graphic design or your content or your editing, video editing. You've tried three or two softwares or platforms. Now, what you should do is now you compare what really matters. Which of the platform, which of the tools was easy for you to use? Which of the tools have great customer support? They have great support for users that you can always reach out to them, or you can always reach out to the community that can be able to help you to understand more problems that you may face while using those platforms, while using those tools. So those tools have communities that you can join that will help you to know the in and out of those tools, of those software, the updates that you can be getting for those software. Now, what else you should look at for, what else you should compare that matters is, does this tool really work with my workflow? Am I able to flow with this tool to be able to execute what I'm planning to execute? Will this tool enable me to give out a good job? Will this to enable me to pull out a good review, or to pull out a good graphics, or to pull out a good video, or to pull out a good content? So this is what to really compare, not to compare what experts are using, but you should compare what is easy for you to use at the skill level that you have, using the tools that you can use at the present moment to be able to execute that particular tech skill that you want to execute. The next step is this: stick with one tool per problem. Now, it's not the matter of, what matters now is you don't need 10 tools, 10 softwares for you to be able to give out a nice job, for you to be able to execute one project. So, what particular tools can you stick with to be able to give you a good job? So, you stick to that particular tool per problem, per project, per per problem you want to solve, you stick to that too. You don't need five productivity app or three design platforms for you to do a particular job. You don't need that for now. What you need is to stick to one that will be able to give you the output is that you don't need five productivity app for you to pull out a job. You don't need three design soft platform for you to be able to pull out a great design. You just need to stick with one of those design platform, one of those productivity app, one of those content creating platform or editing software or tools, so that you'll be able to be mastery of that particular tools before you can now move into another one. So you have to master one at a time, be well grounded in it, and you will be surprised that only that platform, that particular tools you are using, will be able to give you great results for whatever project you want to execute. More tools equals more confusion. Pick one tool and build consistently. Tech becomes simpler when your workflow is simple. The next step is to give yourself time to learn slowly. So you should not rush yourself. You should not expect yourself to be giving out an expert kind of result when you are still a beginner. So the best things to do is to give yourself time to learn slowly. You're 1 month into a tech skill, you should not be expecting to have an expert kind of result. Why? You know that you just started. Don't rush yourself, because when you rush yourself, you will miss a lot of lessons you need to learn in the process. So give yourself time to grow slowly. The frustration that comes from expecting mastery in one day, take one feature at a time in graphics, in video editing, in content creating, and the rest of it in a tech skill. So small progress removes fear and build confidence. Small progress removes fear and builds confidence. So to go into tech skill that you feel frustrated, you feel overwhelmed, you feel confused, you should do what? Just follow these simple steps and you'll be able to establish yourself in any tech skill that you want to venture into. Tech feels complicated because we approach it the complicated way. Once you switch to choosing tools based on clarity, simplicity, and your own skill level, everything becomes easy. You don't need the best tool, you just need the right one for yourself. Thank you and see you on the next one. Bye for now.